everyone. Welcome to my kitchen and Merry Christmas Eve. So we're going to do a Christmas session here. It's been really busy for you guys. For me, when I'm cooking all the time for clients, it's hard for me to get time to get in the kitchen and do a video. But what I thought I would do for you is dress up some of the cookies that I just did in the past two videos, because I've been giving cookies at the holidays literally since I was in third grade. And when I had my promotional marketing company, I used to give cookies to all of my clients. However, at that time, I did not change the recipes. I did not do gluten-free. I did not remove the common ingredients that caused an allergic reaction. What is an allergic reaction? It can excite any type of autoimmune diseases and things like that. So I'm Kimberly Knox, and you're in the kitchen with KK, and I'm a functional integrative health coach, but I've taken my cooking knowledge and become a healing chef for the people, creating the bioenergetic cooking method, helping you mindfully think of how food and the food science heals the body, because bioenergetics is just the study of energy in living systems. Food has energy. If you want energy, you need to change your food, because energy does not come from caffeine and stimulants. So what I have in front of me are some of the cookies that we've already done. These are the ginger doodles. They're delicious and amazing. I keep things like this in my freezer. If somebody comes over for tea, I have cookies available. If I'm going to a little event and I need to bring them around the holidays, they're available, but they're in the freezer. So they're staying great. They're out of sight. I'm not eating a ton of them, but if I want some, I'll just go grab them and put them on a plate. Well, we're going to dress these up. And in my beautiful Spode Santa Claus mug, and I'm in my PJs, so it is Christmas Day. I'm watching Christmas videos. I just finished watching A Christmas Story. And my cute snowman here is loaded with my homemade raw cacao hot chocolate. I know I did a video on this, but it's super easy using a very clean almond milk. You got to get your readers out in the grocery store. And I take people there. We go through the store and you learn to read the labels. You want no other ingredients, no fillers, no lecithins, no carrageenans, no artificial, no natural flavors, no anything. Just filtered water, raw organic almonds, real vanilla flavoring. That's what this is. So this has changed my life when I used to make my own almond milk. Whipping it up with raw cacao, some dates, and it creates such a creamy hot chocolate. It's great because milk also froths very well. So here's already one example where I'm cutting back at the holidays. Wherever you go, the conventional baking items will destroy your body. We've got an epidemic of type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome. That means everything is wrong with your metabolic syndrome. Your metabolic body is broken. It can't burn fat for fuel. So you constantly have issues. We just need to work with our food and also have alternatives around the holidays where we're really cutting back on that sugar. We're cutting back on the carbs. And the other thing that will do that, and gluten, soy, and dairy. Those are the top three things. Corn, those things are going to be and eggs as well. They will create problems for all of my clients that have autoimmune or Epstein-Barr. Bar none, I've had to do it myself because I also suffer. Almond flour is so low in carbs because it's a nut. You just have to add arrowroot to it. But this is genius. Not only does it get rid of the gluten, much lower in the carbs than, say, a cassava. And almonds are alkaline. So you see where it's just adding, we're building up the toolbox. And I did not know how to use alternate flours. For years, I just stopped baking until I started figuring it out. So I am going to be filling with a white chocolate. Now, I started using Pasha brand. I bought it at Whole Foods way back in 2017. Pasha now advertises everywhere. You can get discounts. And I only bought the 100% raw cacao at that time because why do we want treats? We have been geared since we were children. A treat gives us a shot of dopamine. It is a reward. That reward center lights up, and that first 15 minutes, your body's able to handle it. Plus, when you're younger, your insulin and your cells are responsive, which means insulin is pumped out of your pancreas and it clears the glucose from your blood, puts it where it needs to go. Exercise will help with that too. But if you're insulin resistant, exercise not helping you. You've got to do fasting and change your food. So 100% raw cacao gives you dopamine and serotonin, gives you what your brain needs, but doesn't give you the sugar. So I make many different desserts with this. Now, Pasha also has an 85% dark. Now, why would you want to buy these? It's because if you look on the back too, no nuts, no eggs, no soy, no emulsifiers, no soy, no lecithins, no gluten, no wheat, no dairy, especially the white chocolate, no dairy, it's fully vegan. These are allergens in the body that irritate only your gut lining and your liver. And if you have, like I said, Epstein-Barr, shingles, if you have any autoimmune caused from that, if you've got leaky gut, those things are causing issues. We need to cut down on them, but we still need to have treats. So that's why my cookies are so different. So let's grab these white chocolates. If you do not have a double boiler, don't worry. All you need to do is add water to a saucepan. And here's my spoon. I just stirred up my chocolate with it. We just added the white chocolate to this pan. Now, what I'm going to add to this is a little bit of this. It's called coconut manna. So it's the real coconut meat. It's like you could add a little coconut oil, but I like the manna. And it's gonna lighten it up a little bit. Now, how we're gonna dress these up, I'll show you. We're gonna take these and we're gonna line the little holes. When you cook these, you put a little hole in them, and as soon as they come out of the oven, you give that dimple a little bit more of a push. So we're gonna line the hole with the white chocolate. We're gonna let that sit. And then we're gonna add the topping. Those will cool pretty quickly. So now, how did I change my jam? Okay. Jams are filled with sugar. Most of them, okay? Even this one is way too sweet for me. And I buy this because I'm not making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all day long. And in fact, that's really not the best meal. It might taste good because it's a load of sugar. But you really need to be careful. This is just 100% fruit. And that's genius. And it's from France. But what I do is I put real strawberries into a pan. I just cook them down. And I add a little bit of this, stir it up, and then I'll blend it. So now I'm adding in fresh strawberries to this, and I'll keep it in the refrigerator. So this is going to tone it down. And I like a little bit of jam on my toast, but in this way, I'm able to cut the sugar down a lot. And that's helpful for me because I do like my treats. You're going to get your hands messy here, and you're going to want to lick your finger, and that's fine. So now we're just putting a little bit of jam into the top of each one. What I like to do is I like to chill these before I dress up the top. So we'll probably put them into the freezer just a bit. Or, yeah, because what I want to do is we're going to also, here, let's just let these sit. Now, all right, candies around the holidays. Stop sucking on candy all day long. First of all, it's bad for your teeth. So it creates the bacteria, the acid on the teeth that creates the plaque, that creates all the junk. And really need to keep that at bay. Plus, you don't want to keep stimulating insulin in the body. It's the fat storage hormone. And once you keep stimulating it, your cells say, hey, knock it off. And this is when your cells become insulin resistant, glucose starts to rise. If your glucose is over 90, you got to get it in check. Doctors want you. Type 2 diabetes is the most expensive disease we have. So they're not really having a huge amount of incentive to get you straightened out before you get over 100, before you get to 120, before you get up to 200. And then you've got to do some work. But proper fasting and closing that eating window down, cleaning up your food, you can totally reverse it. These are Earth Yum. Earth Yum is a candy company. Now, just because it says organic, it's still going to have sugar, but what are they taking out? So let me just read you this, because I don't buy candy, but I wanted to know. Here we go. AI is really great, right? For some things. What are Earth Yum? See if we can go here. What makes them different? That's what I want to know here. Hold on one second. Yeah, so they call them allergy-friendly candies. So it's not that you're allergic, it's that your body's viruses and your autoimmune, it's reacting to these things. Now, gluten is a number one no-no for all of this. Dairy, you wonder why you have achy joints, achy hips, achy knees. You're inflamed and you're also irritated. But dairy, cheese, all the yogurts, stop thinking that you're going to get the calcium and that's a benefit. The irritation that you're getting and the pain is not worth it. So the top allergens, nuts, gluten, dairy, etc. Artificial dyes and artificial flavors are loaded in different candies, and especially different chocolates and all of the traditional candies you see at Walgreens, CVS, and other places. They're filled with things like inflammatory oils, all of the seed oils, the palm oils, right? And those inflame your cells, not just the cells of your liver and your epithelial, all the lining of your gut, also your kidneys. We are in kidney season right now. And your kidney filters so much blood. So if your liver is suffering and it's not cleaning up, your kidneys are also going to suffer. If you've got a high processed food, high sugar diet, your kidneys are suffering. And you might not really notice it until you get puffy eyes and dark circles. Those are indications. You're getting edema, things like that. Okay, so we're in kidney season right now. We need to do lots of things. And just 1 teaspoon of sugar is going to reduce your immune system for up to 4 to 6 hours. Okay, and we're also in flu season, right? You wonder why you get sick a lot around the holidays. It's not just from the stress, it's from the food, and you're really kicking your fighter cells. You're down a notch with all the candy. So we're going to just crack up some of these in a bag. And then I'm going to show you how to dress up the ginger doodles. Now, you know that I already cut down all the sugar inside of my cookies. And the reason why is because we're adding some sugar from the jam and the white chocolate. Sorry to use my teeth here, but couldn't open that little package. All right, so I just got 3 of these candies. I'm going to put them in here. And just like I chop up nuts, we're just going to smash these up a little bit. And then because the white is going to create a really great contrast to the dark, and it's going to give you that holiday minty kind of a flavor that reminds us of candy canes and carols and everything like that, right? So let's see if this is warm enough. I want to hold on. Yeah, so let's finish up dressing these jam thumbprints. Okay, so wax paper is what we're using here. If you don't have wax paper, you can use parchment paper, but wax paper is great to have. You can't bake with it, but it's going to protect your surfaces, and it's good to have in your your toolbox. Now, if you want to dress these up, like all you do is you just drizzle it across the top. You're going to get some on the paper. It does not matter. You're just decorating these so that you can put them in little cups. So you're giving them a commercial, professional, fun look. Plus, you're giving it a little extra sugar. So it's a little extra treat here. All right, that's fantastic. I'm going to put this back on the stove, get warm. And we don't have to take the white chocolate out of there. We're going to add in some dark chocolate. But look how gorgeous these look here. All right, you can see. And we're going to let those sit. And then what you want to get is these little cups here. We're going to be putting them in here, whether you put them in a box, and I like to get boxes or tins, and, you know, make it look dressed up, like you took some effort and you made it look like a real treat. All right. Next up. So what I do in my dark chocolate bin here is either I just have the 100% raw cacao, or if I'm doing a lot of baking, because I'll add a little handful of these to my super clean blueberry muffins that are just whipped up bananas. Oh, you see me make them here. Mulled flaxseed bananas, the cleanest muffins you can think of, with no added sugar, no dairy, no eggs. So they're so filling and amazing because I'm using the 100% certified gluten-free oats, sprouted rolled oats, which I break down myself in my blender. Never buy oat flour. It's a waste of money. You don't know the quality. You can make your own. So I'm mixing in here the 85% and the 100% raw cacao. So we're really cutting down on the chocolate. You just get a tiny bit. If you're fasting and you need a little pop of dopamine and the mineral water's not working, or, you know, it does give you a little boost because of the caffeine, raw chocolate does. Cacao, not carob, but you can have a little bit of the 100% raw chocolate. So let's get a handful in here so they can start to melt. And that's just a way to do a double boiler if you don't have one. Okay, how fun is this? So what we're going to do is we're going to drizzle a little bit of chocolate onto the top, and then we're going to dip them in here. So it's going to be a little chocolate with a splash of the cookie, the candy crumbles, and just terrific. So let me get cleaned up a bit while the chocolate is melting, and we'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in, and Merry Christmas Eve. Okay, very quickly, it melts. I'm just going to add a little bit of this coconut manna. This is to help it to also thicken up a little bit, because when coconut oil gets hard, it gets thick. And I mean, when it gets cold, it gets hard. That's what you want, without adding anything. All right, let's see how this works. So they haven't done it before, but I wanted to create something fun here. I'm just going to drizzle some on top. Going to let it get cooled. Well, that's cool. Let's put these other ones into. So it's so fun, right? Making cookies. Now, what you want to do is, normally I put 2 per little cup. These are kind of big, so let's just put 1 per cup, and they're a little wet still. I usually put them into the freezer first before I put them into the cups. And let's get some of these on here. Now this is dressed up, ready to go. If somebody comes over, it's always good to have these little trays. I also have these beautiful red. These are my Christmas plates from Le Creuset. When you go to the outlets, look for fun things like this that you don't normally see. They will have them. So this is still a little wet. All right, don't mind me. Now, perhaps what we'll do is we'll sprinkle it on and we'll just let them cool. So what you want it to get stuck into the chocolate. You want it to cool with it, so it's part of it. So this is way better than sprinkling on confectioner sugar, right? But these look really great, like snow came down and played on your cookies. These are so gorgeous. All right. Oh my God, that's super yummy with the mint. So let me get cleaned up a bit and then we'll come back. But thanks for tuning in on simple ways to dress up your cookies and why you want to have alternatives, because we want to enjoy the holidays, but grandma's recipe can be changed and it needs to be changed, especially with the amount of irritations we have. You don't want to set yourself up so far back at the start of the year that you've gained a lot, you feel guilty, or you just feel awful and tired and achy. But we want to have alternatives that make us feel terrific. So we'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in today. Okay, one more way to have fun. My Grinch plate. I love it. It's so cute. Put your paper onto the plate here. Put all this stuff in the center. And then if you have leftover chocolate, you just pour it over the extra peppermint crumbles and just put it in the refrigerator and you'll have a little bark that you can nibble on that doesn't have any ingredients that are not great for your body. That's all we're doing. I'm just really committed to creating alternatives for you so that you're allowed to enjoy. It's about delicious, never deprived, but understanding how your body works and that we're responsible for creating over 90% of the disease today. And all you have to do is empower yourself, be more mindful with your choices, and clean up. And look how beautiful you guys did here with me today. So Merry Christmas. Thanks for tuning in. Having a little more of my hot chocolate. Have a wonderful Christmas.